Hi, welcome to the third edition of On The Limiter. As promised, the FD2, my pride and joy. This is why I do what I do, to be able to own cars like this. And it's through trading and obviously over the years, kind of selling bits of modified cars and unusual stuff that I've gotten to this point and been lucky enough to own one of these. So the FD2, I've wanted one of these I've looked at them for probably 4 or 5 years now, but always been out of reach price wise. The thing I like about the FD2 mostly is what it's took me to get here for the start. Obviously, you can only really appreciate one of these if you've been through the stages. What I mean by that is, if you've owned EK9s, EP3s, DC5s, you can only truly appreciate an FD2's worth. The thing about this car is, Honda have basically rolled a little bit of every other Honda I've owned into this car. I find it's got everything that I liked from the other cars, but it's better. So obviously start from the front end. Favourite bit about the car, to be honest, I absolutely love the way the carbon works against the champ white paintwork. I think it separates it, it looks aggressive in the mirror. The grille at the front as well. The bonnet, by the way, is a C1 item. It's good quality, it's quite hard wearing. We have ceramic coat this as well, so the little mini stone chips that we tend to get from time to time, it's quite hard wearing on that side of things. The front grille, it's non-standard, obviously black item with a GS Racing front lip at the bottom. Headlights, I love these. The front end's big, it's aggressive. I mean, if you were to see this in your mirror, you'd immediately think you were obviously coming onto something fast. You'd be wrong. If you drop a gear, you'll probably disappear. They aren't the fastest thing in the world, but when you work a Honda hard, they do start to move on a little bit, but you've got to be up there, 9k revs all the time to keep it moving. That's the way these work, basically. You've got to be in VTEC, otherwise they aren't a very fast car. To be honest, they aren't very fast anyway, but they do handle well. So moving around, what I'll do is obviously we'll take you up the driver's side first. The paintwork on this car is magnificent. The guy that I got it from looked after it very, very well. He added all the modifications. The reason I went for this car is because I wanted something that was non-standard, basically. It already had majority of the mods on there fitted, and obviously if you know what you're looking at, the mods would have cost me probably 3 or 4 grand to put on it, so I've done well to buy a car like this. It suits me, it suits everything I want to use it for, and obviously the modification will support track days, B roads, whatever you want to do in it. The good thing is about this particular car, the FD2, is you can do everything in it. It's a daily commuter, it's a track car, it's a B road car. You know, it can use everything. You can get the shopping in, you can get the Benz in. It's a good family performance saloon car, really. So walking around the back, obviously GS Racing wing. Now this here I absolutely love. It's very rice, very Japanese. It's got the like tough street Jap look to the car, which is what I wanted to achieve. When I watch videos on YouTube, I know it sounds a bit gash, but the whole Fast and Furious crap, I'm sure you all know it. It's where we all started. Got me excited about Japanese cars, and the wing for me, the big gear wing, if you like, as people pronounce it, is something you must have on something like this. Something with a big boot, something that's quite long to break it up. I think the wing works very, very well. It's not a genuine GS Racing. It's an aftermarket item from America. The aren't a fortune. I think they're $688 these. It is genuine carbon, and it does look the part. It just doesn't have the genuine GS Racing stamps in it. So while we're at the back of the car, we'll touch on the rear light lenses as well. These to me are absolutely awesome. They do have a skyline-ish type of feel, like an afterburner style rear light. So with regards to the rear lights themselves, what you'll find is they kind of light up like they're not LED, but they've got like an LED look to them. They stand out a mile. The back of the car looks very aggressive at night time when they're on, and you can tell from a mile away you're coming up with something special. So while we're here, exhaust wise, this basically has destroyed my relationship with the neighbours in the street. Nobody likes me, nobody talks to me, but I can live with that. They have to accept it, I'm sure I have, so it is what it is. It's 3-inch all the way back. The manifold at the front is a big bore header as well, so quite a large manifold we've got. So the car breathes very, very well. With this car being NA, they don't make a great deal of power. So getting the car to breathe as well as you possibly can will help it, well, to squeeze every little bit out of it possibly. You need the most out of these. It's 240 horsepower this. It's got a GS Racing ECU. The ECU is a closed item, so what I mean by that is basically it's non-mappable. Last time it was rolling road, it hit 242, I think it was. It does pull well. It's good for what it is. At the rear, obviously we've got the rear valance or diffuser, if you like. Again, this is a Jay's Racing item. There's a lot of the stuff on the car which is Jay's Racing. At the rear, obviously camera as well. This here obviously goes on the 7-inch monitor. It's quite clear. The back end of the car is quite large, so you do need that. What I'll do is this side, I'll touch on the wheels and the tyres. Personally, the wheels themselves, it's the one part of the car that doesn't really get me excited. I think they're a little bit drab. I think they're a little bit boring. I don't think there's anything special about these wheels. That's one thing that I do want to change in the future. They look okay, but I think the car is supposed to look special, and they don't really do it for me. Tyres wise, at the minute, setup, it's running Federal 595 RSRs, great tyre, but to be honest, I may change them to Nankan ER1s when these ones are about dead, which probably is another track day should do that. Brakes, standard equipment at the moment, caliper wise. So what we've got is, at the front, we've got Brembo calipers. Obviously again, as I said, factory items. These stopped the car very, very well. They worked fantastic on the DC5. I didn't have any problems on track. I always run PBS pads. If you've used PBS pads, you'll know just how good they are. They don't really start working hard until they get red hot. So PBS for me is a big thumbs up. They're very, very good. If you're looking for track pads, hit PBS up. We do have a parts supplier as well, which we can actually give you if you need some parts. They've got a good guy for that. So braided lines on there, more chill fluid, 660 I think it is. And yeah, the brakes should work quite well. I haven't been on track with it yet, but I have done a couple of B road stints, and the car's coped very, very well indeed. So I'm quite happy with them at the moment. So we'll go to the interior of the car. Now inside of here, I absolutely love it. It feels very, very special. It's a very, very driver-focused interior. So what you'll see is the driving position for me is what gets me with the FD2. The gear knob, if you look at its position, the way it looks quite odd. I've never seen anything like that, the way it sits. But when you're going through the gears, the shifts are dead precise. They're dead clean. You'll do very well to miss a gear in this car. It's got a short shift kit in there as well. Again, works amazingly well. Clutch is a standard item. I think the guy put an aftermarket XCD in this, which is good enough to cope with what I wanted for and the power it's running. So seats wise, these are very, very similar to what's in the FN2, but what you'll find is they've made a few little subtle changes to make that a little bit better. So the bolsters are higher than the FN2. They hold you that little bit more, and what you'll find is the material through the center on these as well is like more like a suede as opposed to the FD2 cloth. Again, sorry, the FN2 again. The FD2 is meant to feel a little bit special, so it's all these little touches for me that make it that little bit better. So when we're in here, obviously we'll pop the key on there. So clocks wise for me, I absolutely love them. They're very futuristic. You've got a staggered setup if you like. Obviously you've got your revs here. The car revs right down to 9k. You've got the digital speedo at the top. This here is a lovely little shift light, so when you're going hard, all the lights are staggered, they'll light up and it'll flash. Obviously that's when you know your optimum shift time is. The monitor itself, again, factory item. I do quite like this. The only problem is it's in Japanese. I'm not very good with English language to start with, never mind Japanese, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. I put a CD in there, it plays music, that's all I needed to do. As you can see from obviously the interior of the car, it's a very, very large car. So in the back, if you want to take your family out, I mean, I'm a family man at the end of the day. I've got a little girl who's 6. She's banging into cars. My missus is into cars. And we like to go camping and we like to enjoy it together. And the interior allows you to do that. There's loads of room in the back, loads of leg room. The boot's huge. So yeah, interior-wise, I do absolutely love it. I think they've got the interior right on the FD2. So, just to cap, obviously the car itself, 240 horsepower, suspension, I didn't mention the suspension. It's on teen suspension. I've never used teen before, it's the first set of teens that I've actually had. Now, these are absolutely magnificent. The thing I like about this particular teen that's on the car is if you're driving the car normally and you're doing road miles, it's very soft, it's very supple, and it's very forgiving. But again, if you start and work the car hard, the suspension, it's phenomenal. It's very, very good. It handles all the bumps well. This is it's not like most Hondas where you find most Hondas are very, very raw. You do get quite connected to the drive of the car. You can feel everything that it's doing. but it's very refined and it's very supple, which is what I like about it. Again, it's a good mix of all the Hondas. When you're going hard, it still feels very nimble and very quick, and you can actually enjoy the car. So I hope you like the walk around. Obviously, like I said, this is my pride and joy. This is why I do what I do. With regards to the channel itself, we're getting some really good coverage at the minute. Keep the comments coming in, positive or negative, we don't care. We'll try and talk to everybody and we'll take stuff on board. A couple of people, just to touch on it, a couple of people mentioned to me yesterday they'd seen the first couple of videos, they were dead happy with them, but what they found was they were having to go on the channel and click on them. They weren't getting any notifications. So when you subscribe, there's a little bell at the top of the screen. Make sure you click the bell, and what the bell will actually do is it'll notify you every time a video comes up. So thanks for watching. Obviously I'll end it there. This video itself is obviously our third one. The fourth one and the next one will be the track day, which is the 20th of August. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. Again, thanks for everyone's time. It's on the limiter, third issue. Thanks a lot.